Alright, ladies and gentlemen, MKohl40 here, giving you guys the Kawaki Maru deck profile. I know I promised this to you guys a few days ago on MKohl40, but here it is. For those of you that have been wondering what is up with the recent surge in Kawaki Marus. Like I mentioned before, this deck is seeing a lot more play from Duelist Grounds players, and it's starting to see a lot more like uprising. I figured this deck would have got a surge of popularity the minute the Primal Origins hit stateside, but the deck kind of got dusted underneath the rug, with Hat being a very crucial, important deck to the game. Hat is Artifact, Hand, Trap-Trix, stands for the abbreviation. You can add an E for hate if you want to have a beautiful notation for the traps. So, what does this deck do? This deck relies on, of course, the Kawaki Maru engine. You guys know you reveal Iron Core, just brush summon Crusader from your deck, or do special summon Tornado, but we'll explain Tornado in a little bit. Your basic engine is Kawaki Maru Urnite, reveal Core, bring out Crusader, XYZ into Tiger King. Tiger King will net you a Tenki. Tenki nets you another Urnite, so you can have floating XYZs. Very important to this deck is the inclusion of the new Diamond Core. Diamond Core allows you to remove it from the graveyard, and Kawaki Maru monsters you control cannot be destroyed during this turn. Basically, it creates a blanketing effect on the field. Very important when playing against Hat. That way you can blow out your opponents, make sure that there's no morale attacks, you're not going to get Trap-Trix, Trap Hold, anything like that. Very, very, very important card. Of course, it can search for Iron Core as well. Something more interesting that this particular variant has, that I've started to see, is Wrecking Power. It lets you reveal Iron Core and then destroy all face-down spell trap cards your opponent controls. Basically, it's a full blowout card. If you're playing against the Gear Game matchup, you end phase this, destroy all their back row. Same thing against Hat, you end phase, Wrecking Power, nuke your opponent's artifacts before they can resolve. Basically, this card just wins you the game. Any deck that can generate a Heavy Storm, such as this, will basically net you major card advantage. The other cool thing about this deck, of course, is it is using the Fire Fist engine. So, I mean, realistically, this with Tensu, Gorilla, Special Summon, or additional normal summon your guy, and pop off this to control your opponent's back row. Very good. I mean, of course, the deck does have its ways to net other card advantage. Also, one last thing I'd like to point out is the inclusion of Kawaki Maru Tornado. Tornado lets you send an Iron Core from your hand back to the top of your deck, destroy all special summon monsters your opponent currently controls. Actually, when I played against this deck, this was pretty much a blowout card. I actually didn't expect this to happen. Basically, they can just continue to power over with Urnite, Crusader, and then when the time comes, Tornado will clean up the rest of the board and put you in a much better position. And its effect is pretty much free, or it's at least going to 1-for-1. It kind of stinks that you do dead draw yourself into a core, but realistically it shouldn't be that much of a problem because you're nuking at least 2 or 3 cards off of it. So, the deck overall does what it needs to do. It is a stun-based engine, ensures that you won't get dicked over by anything that Artifacts has to offer to you via Diamond Core, and it has a very consistent Fire Fist engine backing it. So, if you guys want this deck, it'll be available on Dropbox for you guys to download and playtest. Let's dig into this. So, Triple Urnite, like I said, pretty standard. Triple Crusader, this guy is only really good for netting back Diamond Core from your graveyard. You can honestly net back something else, but it's still pretty free. 2 Bear, 1 Gorilla, 1 Tornado, of course, 1 Birdman. This is pretty self-explanatory. You can go Urnite into Crusader, return Crusader back to your hand, special summon Birdman, make Black Rose, blow up your opponent's board for pretty much free. So it's a really interesting card. You could easily replace it for something else. It gives you an extra deck slot if you take it out too. 2 Card D, 2 Maxi, pretty standard. As for the spells, the 2 Iron Core, do not play 3, do not play 1. You need 2. It's the best number. 1 Dark Hole, triple Diamond Core, triple Duality for the passive plays, 2 MST, 1 Tensu, triple Tenki, traps 2 Reckoned Power, 1 Bottomless, 1 Torrential, 2 Deep Prison, 1 Compulse, 2 Called Haunted. Very interesting stable for this deck. Playtesting this particular build, getting back your recurring Firefest monsters, or an Ur Knight to continue on with your push, or a Tornado to disrupt your opponent's key plays. It really does work for what it is. And then, of course, 1 Solemn Warning. His extra deck: 1 Cowboy, 2 Emerald. Emerald is very important. I understand why 2 is a thing. You need to make sure that you always have recurring targets for these 2 guys, because it's very important that you can continue on with your XYZ loop. Exciting Knight, Roach, Diamond Dire. Heartland Draco is pretty much a win condition in this deck. Bring it out, you control continuous spell cards, your opponent can't attack it, which really is really annoying. And of course, it can attack your opponent directly for 2k. Of course, 2 101, Black Ship, 2 Tiger King, Ragna Zero, Kagutsuchi, and Black Rose Dragon. Pretty much wraps up this deck profile. So guys, this is Kawaki Maru Stun as it stands in the current format. Leave a comment down below. Tell me what you guys think about this deck. It's a very interesting deck via concept. Give it a shot. See what you guys think about it for testing purposes. And I'm out.